I've been fortunate enough to have the opportunity to play this game since I was in 4th grade, and I've been with the Panthers now for 8 years, and it's never the right time to step away, but now is the right time for me, and it's a tough decision. I've thought about it a lot, and I think now is the right chance for me to move on.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
Let's hear his name.
Yeah, you're pretty cool. You're pretty good at what you do.
Everyone's like, Lou. Like, you know.
All about it when I see you again. We've come a long way, from where we began.
You know we started.
Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
Let me tell you.
When I see you again.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling strong, and what's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken, the love will never get lost. And when brotherhood come first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn, and that line is what we reach, so remember me when I'm gone. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
Let the light guide your way. Yeah.
I mean, that's God-given talent, that's film study, and you know, he combined both of those things. You have a unique player like you have in Luke King.
Always lead you home. Oh, it's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Thank you to the coaches, the players, the support staff, the training staff. Everybody involved with this organization has been the best from top to bottom since the day I got here. The fans have been fantastic. They've supported us. They've traveled. When we've been good, they've been great. When we haven't been great, they've been equally as good and very supportive. And that's the best thing about this city and this town is people love the team and people love the players. And that goes a long way, because when you love the players for who they are, I think it transcends the game, and that's what's important. And most of all, I'd like to thank my family, Mom and my dad, Eileen and Tom Keekley, my 2 brothers, John and Henry, and my girlfriend, Shannon. They've been with me since the beginning. They've been very supportive, and I'm happy to share this journey with them. So Thank you, Panther fans. Thank you, everybody in the NFL, for your constant support. And now it's time to move in a different direction.
All right, what's good, people? What's good, people? Dave, what's popping? We had to give Luke Kuechly his flowers because we did not do an emergency episode after he abruptly retired. So I had to give him his flowers. Shout out to Luke, I know we throw around Panther legend a lot, but he is a true Panther legend. So I wanted to give him his just. And I didn't make that video, by the way. I got it off of YouTube. Somebody else made it. I'll give him his credit in the comment or in the description. Appreciate that, Jared.
Shout out to Garrett, man.
Yeah, man. But yeah, shout out to Luke. Definitely wanted to give him his flowers. Dave, do you have any thoughts on the Luke Kuechly retirement? Quickly, please. We got a lot. We probably gonna have to give a whole nother Panther Legends episode, and we probably should have did an emergency one, but we didn't. So whatever. Any thoughts?
We didn't, because we didn't anticipate we would have more news like that.
Yeah.
So we made the executive decision not to go there because everybody else was going there.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with that decision. We already gave you the emergency one on Tuesday, so I was kind of cool with it. But yeah, man, it was very abrupt. It was very shocking, but not shocking because of the number of concussions he's had, and you always question whether or not he had more. I know I was very critical of him this season, but now it makes sense. I'm not gonna back down from what I said, because even he said it. Because there's no reason for me to back down what I said. Because even he said he wasn't playing at the level he expects to play at last season, and he doesn't feel like he could have done that long term, and that's why he made a decision to retire.
Yeah, man.
So I commend him for that.
Absolutely.
And your health comes first when it comes to playing football. More and more players are doing it under 30 years old, retiring under 30 years old. But it's not a shame for me, man. I went off what I saw.
We call it like we see it, bro.
Yeah, and what I saw is pretty much the same thing he saw, and that's why he made the decision to hang it up.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if, and this is just speculation, but I'm wondering if once the coaching changes were announced and all that, I just wonder if this was under different circumstances. Had he would have played maybe a couple more years, maybe played his contract out and then retired. But I'm wondering, and this is all speculation on my part, but I'm wondering if he saw that coaching staff and this rebuild coming, and was just like, man, I'm not just gonna put my body on the line anymore like that. It's just a waste at this point. We're kind of going in rebuild mode, so I'm just gonna shut it down. And even if that is the case, I don't knock him. I mean, again, like Dave said, it's about player. You know, we don't want Luke to be a Junior Seau. I'd rather him go ahead, retire now, protect his brain, protect his body, and have him be on the sidelines coaching and whatnot in the long term, and stay around the game, because dude's one of the best middle linebackers ever played a game, and he's just so smart. And I'm hoping. Like all the reports are saying, that he comes on the coaching staff in some capacity as some kind of advisor or something like similar with Peppers. I know Peppers is kind of on the business side, but I'm wondering if Luke can come in and coach some of the football aspects, just because he's such a brilliant talent. But man, shout out to Luke, man. It takes a lot of guts to retire like that too. A lot of guts. Luke doesn't seem like the guy that really cares much about money like that. I mean, I don't know him personally, but this is just. Just my opinion, just the way he, he's not really high maintenance. He's not driving Bentleys around, nothing like that, like some of these dudes. So I'm pretty sure the money he's sitting on, he saved it, and I'm pretty sure it's nothing to him. So I hope he comes back, but shout out to Luke, man. Shout out to Luke. But yeah.
I'm hoping he gets a coaching job. The guy played a freaking career, man. He's the first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't think there's a debate in that.
Nah.
You can question, he had a short career, but his career dwarfs people who've played 15 years. The dude led the league in tackles, interceptions, and pass defense at his position since he's been in the league. He's got 7 Pro Bowls, 7 All-Pro, 5 first-team All-Pro.
Insane, man. I just wish we could have got
He's
that
the
chip
second.
on. I wish we could have got that Super Bowl, man.
I
God, that's
know,
the only. And that's why I'm
but
hoping he comes back as on the staff to kind of hopefully still get that kind of. It won't be the same,
but
but
at the same, yeah, and I know folks are saying first ballot like I'm crazy. Let me tell you something. He's first ballot because I got another stat for you that'll blow your mind too. There's only 2 players that have ever won Defensive Rookie of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year back to back. Lawrence Taylor and Luke Kuechly.
that's crazy.
That's the list. So, no, he doesn't have a ring, but there's other All-Pro linebackers who don't have rings either that are in the Hall of Fame. And he's been to a Super Bowl, which a lot of players can't say.
True that.
So, like, he had a good career, and when the retirement got announced, I started thinking about how like a lot of Panther Nation would be like, oh man, they wasted his career, they didn't
Yeah.
get him a championship. Look, man, he was in the league for 8 years. They made the playoffs 4 times, and he went to a Super Bowl in one of them. I mean other than winning the ring, you can't really get any much better than that.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
and I think again, you'll see this happen. I mean, we saw it with Patrick Willis. You're gonna see this happen a lot more. I mean, these players aren't stupid. They make a lot more money nowadays, so you can take your money and do your thing. Invest as long as you invest it right and make the right moves when you have that money. I mean, you can make that money work for you in the long run, and just it'll continue to grow. But I don't blame. Again, I'm hoping that nobody, and I have not that I've seen this. I don't think I've seen this, but I'm hoping Panther Nation really kind of embraces Luke and congratulates him instead of like trying to, oh, why you leave us hanging, blah 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 blah. I haven't seen that, and I'm
No.
just saying I'm hoping I don't see that because that's crazy. But again, hopefully he comes back on the coaching staff. I believe it's mutual that we want him to come in some capacity, and he wants to coach. So hopefully that happens. Shout out to everybody that got Luke autographs. He signed everything, so hopefully you got you one. Who I don't know if he's gonna be on the staff. Maybe he comes out to training camp or stuff like that. But it's gonna be. He's the man. Shout out to Luke. All right, so anything else on Luke before we get into all this craziness we got, Dave?
Yeah, man, I'm in, man. We probably should do a whole
Well,
episode.
we're
probably
gonna
should do
yeah
one on Man
we'll
Fat.
do one. We'll do him, Pep, Smitty, all of them. We got to do a Panther Legends episode. Because
Yeah, we got a whole off season, so we got time.
we got time. We got time, B, for sure. We sure got time.
Plenty of time.
All right.
And the thing is, yes, they knew Luke was requiring. They knew. Like I think they're saying like Luke didn't tell them till the week of, but I think the rumblings were there probably during the season if I had to guess. I don't think, and to answer Plymouth's question about Sam Mills, I don't think Sam gets in this year. I don't think Sam Mills get in this year. That's when you talk about the Hall of Fame, and if you want to ask me if he's getting in, I don't think he's getting in. I think there's too many other players that are ahead of him on that list. My opinion.
Nah, if they put Sam Mills in as a Saint, yeah, I'm wrecking shot, B. I know.
Well, they'll put him in for both.
I know.
They'll put him in for both.
I know, but I'm just
but-
saying if I'll go down there and burn Canton down, B. All right.
Did you see that? I don't know if this was on your agenda, but did you see that video with Steve Smith?
I did. It's not on my agenda, but I retweeted it. Steve Smith definitely he's kind of coming off his Ravens. He's went to the Ravens and he's been talking about how the Ravens is his team and blah 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 blah. But then he went on NFL Network, swapped the helmets out. There was a helmet in the back, a Ravens helmet. He swapped the Ravens helmet with the Panthers helmet and said it's on tap to go ahead and retire that jersey. If they retire it's been unofficially retired, but if they go ahead and officially retire the jersey, I think the relationship will be mended. But it wasn't on my agenda to talk about. But yeah, go ahead, Dave. You got any thoughts on that?
Yeah, that was an interesting video to say.
It was.
I think
it was. I thought things were pretty.
And he's on that show typically normally, and so that jersey's been hanging back there since he's been working for NFL Network, and he went up there and changed the helmet. So I thought that was dope. So I was like, all right, he changed the helmet.
And then they put the jersey up too. Get rid of that Ravens.
Yeah, they should
shit.
put the jersey up.
Wow.
They should put the jersey up, and they probably will put the jersey up. But I think it was his decision because when he got the NFL Network job at the time, the relationship with the Panthers
was bad.
Was not that good.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
Yeah.
Tep trying to clean it up, man. He trying to clean it up. But all right, let's move on. Let's move on because we got a lot to talk about. And I don't, guys. I'm just gonna
One more thing.
Go ahead.
Slim, I absolutely agree. We got to retire his number.
Oh, yeah,
nobody
absolutely.
should ever wear 59 again.
There's 59, 90, 89, 51 should probably all be retired. After that, it's a little bit debatable if you want to talk about 58. But 59, 90, 51, and 89.
You have to retire 59. You have to retire 89.
Yeah, you have to retire 89.
90.
Yeah, I agree. Those four are off limits. And okay, one, we can get one. You can talk about number one.
I don't know. Whoa, wait. We gotta hold on one, man.
All right, hold on. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk. I'm just telling y'all right now. We probably will not be able to open up the phone lines today. It's a lot to talk about and not a lot of time. So I'm gonna go through these as thorough as I can. But today we're gonna go through pretty much all of the front office hires, the assistant coach hiring, all that. We're gonna go through all of them, all of the coaches that we have so far, whether speculation or official. We'll go through all those. But listen, I put this up because this picture signals a rebuild. Okay, when Luke retired, I mean that really solidified a rebuild. I know we were kind of in a rebuild mode, but when Luke retired, that officially put my thought process in rebuild mode. So that's what this picture symbolizes, okay? Rebuild mode for the Panthers, okay? But let's get it. So let's talk about the front office, okay? There's been a little bit of
you didn't put a tank there.
I could have put a tank there. So let's talk about the front office, okay? There's a lot of movement going on in the front office. We made a hire today. There's some speculation with others, and we're gonna talk about it. Okay, let's get through them all real quick. Let's talk about Sean Patton real quick, Dave. And if you'll see in the bottom right of your screen, there's gonna be associations. Okay, I tried to keep it to where we're gonna keep it organized with the associations to Matt Rule, so you can see how many people he's brought from Baylor with him, or whether they go back further to Temple, etc. Okay, so this dude was the director of operations at Baylor, okay? And I don't know if he's going to come in at that same level, director of operations, football operations, but that's what he was at Baylor under Rule. And so, again, it's official that he's coming onto the Panther staff. We don't know at what capacity just yet, okay? But he went back to Temple with Baylor, with Rule, followed him to Baylor, and so we just don't know, okay? So, again, prior to joining the Baylor staff, he spent 2015, 2016 at Temple as Associate AD Chief of Staff for Director of Athletics, Sports Administrator, blah, 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 blah. So, Sean Patton, people, and listen, and you probably seen him before, okay? You probably seen him before, Dave. I don't know if y'all remember this from a couple years back, but this is where you probably remember Sean Patton from, Dave. This is probably where you remember him from.
Wow.
Sean Patton, your next football director of football operations. Yeah. So it's funny. He actually went on Fallon. This was a couple years back, and Fallon had him come up and redo. They did a whole skit about it. So we don't know.
Yo, I watched Jimmy Fallon. I do not remember.
Yeah,
that.
this was a couple years ago. This is 2016 or something like that. 2017, something like that. But yeah, so Sean Patton, again, I don't know if he's gonna be director of football operations, but that's what he was at Baylor. Okay, so let's move on. Oops. All right, so next one is Matthew Delgado. So he was the director of football technology at Baylor. Okay, director of football technology at Baylor under Rule. Again, another connection. I don't know what he's gonna do with the Panthers, but it's official that he was in Charlotte along with Patton a couple days ago, and both of them are coming on staff. Okay, I don't know. Again, I don't know the positions. I do not know the positions. I just want to be clear. I do not know the positions, But this guy is gonna come up with Rule. Okay. So Matthew Delgado, another guy. And again, so this is just some quick research I've been doing. So the Panthers, our front office we know it's all behind the times, okay? And David Tepper's, he has been adamant about he's going to come in, change everything, and modernize the front office, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so let me hold off. Let me hold off until we get to the Andrew Berry discussion. I'll hold off. I'll keep that in mind. All right, so moving on. Samir Sulaimon. Again, this was announced today that he is coming from the Steelers. With the Steelers, he had been with the Steelers since 2013, and he did contract management negotiations, administration, and scouting with the Steelers, and he's come on. They say that he's going to be some kind of salary cap administrator. I don't know what that means, but
I know exactly what that means.
I know what it means. He's going to pretty much check Hurney, but I'm just saying, that's what he did with the Steelers. I don't know exactly the position that he will hold with the Panthers, but he has Tepper knows him. They were obviously at the Steelers together, and Tepper's brought him over. Okay, so funny thing about Samir, he goes back. He's been on successful teams. He was a manager of contract information for the Jaguars during their back-to-back AFC Central Division championship seasons in 1998, 1999. So very interesting. He's been with some successful teams. Obviously with the Steelers, they've been successful. But one funny thing about Samir, this is crazy. He actually filed a grievance with the Browns back in 2009, and he was reprimanded by the Rams for leaving a threatening message on the voicemail of a local newspaper columnist. After a report,
so that means he don't take no shit, man.
Listen, he don't. Listen, no, check this out, Dave. After a report that he was stabbing former coach Mike Martz in the back, Sulaimon left the guy a message, the reporter a message that said, "Tell your source I'm not a backstabber, I'm an effing throat slasher, and he'll know the difference before it's all said and done." So this dude, is not for play.
He might have been part of Griselda.
Not for play, okay? So somebody need to tell David Newton to get his facts right before he posts anything about Samir, because he could get his throat slashed, okay? So somebody tell David Newton to watch his back, all right? So capologist, exactly. Capologist, I've seen it in the chat. Capologist from the Steelers coming over. I expect to see some more Steelers guys come over as well. So very interesting, good hire there. I like that hire. Moving on.
They need to have him running a media, man. Forget a salary cap administrator.
That's funny.
You need to get him, yo.
That's funny, man. Dude is not for play, yo.
Not at all. And
also, he was getting like general manager looks as well. So I don't know what his position is gonna be officially, but I expect him to have a pretty nice role in the front office. Whether it's I don't know. I just don't know. I'm not gonna speculate. But he's solid. He's a good hire. All right, moving on. All right, so we gotta have this discussion, Dave. So Andrew Berry, you familiar with Andrew Berry, Dave? Are you familiar with Andrew Berry?
I heard about him.
Works.
I heard.
Oh, go ahead.
I heard that we tried to ask for an interview and we were told no.
Well, let me help you out that one, Dave. Let me help you out with that one. Yeah. So what's happening with this? This is a very interesting situation that we need to monitor, okay? Because he's currently the vice president of football operations with the Eagles, and he's interviewing for the general manager. He has interviewed for the general manager position with the Browns. Okay. The Eagles are blocking our interview with him because he won't have full control of the roster. The roster decisions has to be under his full control for the Eagles to allow us to interview him. So therein lies the conflict, and this is why I have Hurney on the screen. Okay, Tepper needs to make a decision. Tepper needs to make a decision on if And this is why I'm thinking that Hurney's going to be around a lot longer, even as a GM, than we expect. Even you could say after the draft, you could say before the draft, whatever. But if you want this guy, and it seems like Tepper really wants him, because even after they said no, they still want to interview him. They still want to interview this guy. And they're still saying it up to like today that they want to hire him. I think there's mutual interest. I think he wants to come. He does not want to go to the Browns.
Who would? It's the Browns.
Let me read this. So Adam Schefter reports. Adam Schefter's report backs up stories from earlier in the week that said that there's some hesitation on Barry's part to rejoin the Browns front office because, and I think he used to work with the Browns. There's hesitation to rejoin the Browns front office because of the near constant turnover since Haslam family purchased a majority stake in the franchise back in October 2012. So I don't think he wants to go there. But Tepper needs to figure out what in the world he's going to do with Hurney, because if you're going to demote Hurney, do it now so you can get this dude in. Again, the Eagles front office is legit, okay? I said I was going to hold this discussion. But Dave, we got to talk about our front office. And this is Vice President of Football Operations, okay? So we got to talk about our front office, all right? So currently right now on the website, Dave, our front office is a little lagging. It's a little behind the times, okay? Let me tell you why. And this is just a blanket statement that the Panthers on the website, they have 26 front office members listed. 26, okay? To keep that number in mind, 26. That number includes football operations, training staff, and scouting, etc. It does not include stadium operations, IT department, ticket operations, and community relations, okay? Does not include any of that. So the Eagles front office, you want to guess, Dave? How many people? 67. 67 front office members, 16 of which are dedicated to sports science alone. They have a whole entire sports science department. 16, and Tepper's been talking about that. So
Tepper's about that life, man.
So 16 sports science members. Okay, so I opened it up a little bit, went back. Dave, Steelers. Guess how many front office members do they have? Let's take a wild guess.
46.
64. 64 front office members. Okay, so I was
sounds like I can go get a job. Is what you're telling me.
Probably,
if I
Dave.
Come home.
You probably could. You probably could.
I don't want to get fired though. I can't be in a line of work where I can get fired, man. That's a problem.
So Dave, so I go back. I'm like, all right. So man, we hiring these college dudes. Let me check out some of the top college program staff. So I did that, Dave. Can you take a guess? How many? And this doesn't even include like athletic directors or any of that stuff. This is just like staff members, analysts, football operations, stuff like that. Guess how many members LSU has, Dave?
Probably about 120.
No, not that many. Dude, way too high. Way too high.
Oh, man, I would have thought, that's the only thing they got in Louisiana,
no,
so I
way
would have
too
thought
high.
they would have went in.
They have 31 members. 31.
Oh,
31
wow.
staff
So
members.
just like LSU. National champions, man.
Clemson, Dave. Take a guess how many front office members
probably
Clemson.
got less. So I'm thinking like 25, 26.
37, Dave. 37 front office members, including analysts and. So I'm like, look. So I say that to say we're behind the times. Okay, we're behind the times. And if
Sorry, Rex, you're right. I should have subtracted the bag payment guy. There's a lot of those in college. I was thinking about the guys who hold the bag and get the bags out. A&T ain't got those.
So we got to figure out, again, in order to solve this situation, if we want Barry, either they're going to wait till after the draft and demote Hurney after the draft and probably go after him at that point. I don't know what they're going to do. But I think if you want a guy and there's mutual interest, make it happen. I think everything else is semantics at this point. I don't know what the blocker is. If you're going to hire the guy and there's mutual interest, just go get him. Make it happen, man. Make it happen, Tep.
So promote Hurney.
Promote Hurney to what?
Make him the VP of football operations. All this time, I thought like being the VP of football operations is the promotion, but obviously it's not.
Well,
being the GM is a stronger position based on what's going on with Andrew.
Most of them are both. some VP of operations are both. They're general manager, and
Yeah.
so it's just I don't know how he's gonna structure it. I don't know how he's gonna structure it, but they need to figure it out. They need to figure it out.
Well, they won't let Lokes, man. They're not gonna let Barry get interviewed if it's for the vice president job. They're only gonna let him get interviewed if it's for the GM job.
Yeah. So let me maybe I didn't do a great job in explaining it. So if Barry does not have 53 control of the 53-man roster, it's considered a lateral move. Okay. So that allows the Eagles to deny permission. So they've already done that. So the Panthers need to come back.
Because typically when you have a position like that, you gotta have a minority interview per the Rooney Rule, and that's why they can deny it too. Because in the other situation, it just has to happen. Can't really deny it if that's the. But yeah, so this is their way out, and they probably don't want to lose him.
And again, we don't even know what Matt Rule is going to play in this. So we don't know if Matt Rule is going to have personnel control. We don't know. There's a lot of questions going on, and it just seems a bit unorganized. Okay, it's a bit unorganized, and hopefully it'll come to a resolution here pretty soon. But I wanted to clear that up because it's important to understand what's going on with that. That's an interesting situation, and it's telling. It's telling to me that they haven't yet made the move on Hurney because all signs point to him with an assistant coming in and a VP of operations. All signs point to him being demoted anyway. So why not do it now and bring in the guy you want? I'm just.
The draft's coming.
But I think it's just semantics, though. He's still going to be on staff, though. It's not like he's completely going away.
But how do you know? But how do you know that's how the situation was like drawn up for Marty?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Yeah. So like, if you go ahead and demote Marty now, he might be like, you know what? I'm all set. I'm gonna go back and do my radio show on ESPN, and y'all have a lovely day.
Nah, I think he likes him. I think that they're gonna make it happen. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
Because he was involved in the coaching hire, so
he was.
So
it's an interesting situation. Just to monitor that because I think there's mutual interest. I think he wants to be in Carolina. Barry, that is. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right, moving on. All right, so a lot of coach announcements. Okay, a lot of coach announcements. We know this is the big three. All right, you got Matt Rule, Joe Brady, Phil Snow. Okay, it was finally official today. Phil Snow's the defensive coordinator. All right, and we're gonna go through all of them because there's a lot of them that you see these big three, but there's a ton of work or a ton of coaches under them that are being hired or speculative hires. Okay, and we're gonna go through all of them. All right. So there's a huge web. So I kind of try to lay it out here a little bit of how everybody's tied together. And hopefully I'll explain this as we go through them. But as you can see, there's a lot of connections to Matt Rule, a lot of connections to Baylor. And then there's a couple guys that are not connected and have zero. There's only one guy that has zero connections to anybody, and that's Brady. He doesn't have any connections to anybody. But we're gonna go through these each one by one, and I'll try to explain it as best I can. All right. So it's a crazy little web, but a lot of guys came.
Literally.
Yeah, it's crazy. It literally is. But let's talk about it. Let's talk. Somebody said Rose Bowl. Here we come. That's funny. All right. Let me take a deep breath because it's a lot to go through. I need to take a sip. Let me take a sip.
Take a sip.
Just water.
Like my water upstairs.
Just water. All right. So Jeremy Scott. All right. Strength and conditioning coach at Baylor. He joined Baylor staff in 2017 as director of athletic performance for football. Previously worked for 4 years at Temple with Matt Rule as well. So these guys came all the way up from Temple. Strength and conditioning coach is very important. It's important that you name one now because off-season workouts are going to happen. I think we get a little extra time with the coach change. Everything's going to be progress with us. So it's important that these guys get in place. All right. So as you can see, I've already had like 2 or 3 dudes that have Baylor connections already, and we ain't even halfway through. We not even close, okay? Not even close. All right. So, strength and conditioning coach. I think our strength and conditioning coach got picked up by Rivera. Rivera took him with him, so that's why he's gone. And in comes Jeremy Scott. All right. So strength and conditioning coach. Any thoughts on that, Dave?
Nah.
Before we move on.
But I do know the one that we had under Rivera was one of the best in the league.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
So,
but again, that's who we got. He's the guy. All right. Moving on.
Let's do the college counter. This is one.
No, this is like 4, Dave. This is who's got the college counter. All right. I think this is.
All right.
Are we talking coaches or coaches?
Let me be clear about my college counter. I'm counting folks that have no NFL experience whatsoever.
Okay.
So he fits.
He fits. And we're talking just coaches, right? Or are we talking
Yes.
front office? Okay, just coaches. All right.
No,
This
just
is
coaches.
this is one. This is one.
This is one.
So this is an interesting one, Dave. All right. So Frank Holcomb. He was originally drafted by the Texans. Spent time with the Seahawks, Bucks, and Giants. Worked as an assistant line. He will work as the assistant line coach in Carolina under Mike Fair. So he coached. I believe he actually. I don't know if he coached in the NFL or not, but he played. So does that count, Dave?
I thought you said he played for the other teams, or that he played.
He played.
He coached for other teams.
He played.
He played for the
He's
other
a player. Yeah, he played. That don't count.
Nah, that's 2.
That don't count. So that's 2. All right.
2.
I don't know. I have to double check. You might have to pull these names up as I go through them, like and check their backgrounds. I don't have the entire background. I just have
my phone's on
the recent
on the
history.
gimbal.
I just have the recent history.
I can go check.
All right. So this is 2. All right. So again, assistant line. I'm gonna wait for you, Dave, just to double check that. They're not all from college. It's not true.
Let's see here. They ain't even talk about his coaching experience on his wiki page.
They do. They have a coach portion. I saw it.
Oh, he's defensive line. Yeah, so nah.
No? Okay. All right. So that's 2. That's 2. All right. So moving on. Frank Holcomb, assistant line coach. He will assistant defensive line coach will coach under this guy, Mike Fair. There's no direct connection to Rule, but there is a connection with Phil Snow. He worked with Phil Snow on the Arizona State coaching staff in the late 90s, early 2000s. Before Indianapolis, Fair had stops with Tampa Bay, Chicago, and Seattle. He was actually, again, I brought this up last week, he was a defensive line coach with when Peppers was with the Bears. So there's a little Panthers connection there. So he's with the Colts. So that's one NFL experience guy, right?
Oh yeah, that counts.
That counts.
All
right. So just
he was defensive line coach for the Colts.
Yep.
You know, and then he coached the Bucks, the Bears. Yeah. That's the NFL pedigree here.
All right. So we good there.
Yeah, we good there.
All right. Moving on. Defensive line coach. All right. So Evan Cooper. He served at Temple as a director of external operations and a defensive graduate assistant. Followed he followed Rule to take over recruiting. He followed Rule to Baylor, and then he said he had a lot of, he said he had a lot of experience with the personnel and brought in a lot of the success, the recruiting success. But he's going to be the cornerbacks coach. I think I can't remember if he played. Can you double check that one, Dave?
Yeah, he played. He played for the Falcons.
Yeah,
he played for the Eagles.
He played. Yeah, he played. But no
4th round pick.
No NFL coaching experience, correct?
Not an ounce.
They coming from Baylor, man. I'm just giving y'all the facts. I'm giving y'all the connections. The Temple Baylor connection. He goes back, way back with Rule. Okay. All right, so we good on that one?
Yeah, so that'd be number 3.
Evan Cooper, that's 3. Let's get the
now,
count.
Now, granted, so far, like 2 out of the 3, they played in the NFL.
Well, no, you said that didn't count. You said that didn't count. So we going by your rules. You going by your rules. It don't count. All right, so moving on. All right. Mike Evaro. Mike Evaro, linebackers coach. He was with Rule for 4 seasons at Temple, with Baylor, with Rule at Baylor ever since he got there. Interesting thing here. He actually was a secondary coach at Boston College when Luke was there. So that's an interesting little nugget there. He was secondary coach at Boston College when Luke Kuechly was there. So he could kind of reunite with Luke. But again, no NFL experience there as well. I'm pretty positive on that one. That's 4, right?
I'll be 4.
Is that 4 or 5?
I'll be 4.
Okay, so we 4. All right. So he's gonna be the linebackers
He doesn't
coach.
have a wiki page, man.
Yeah, I don't think he had a wiki page.
Yeah.
Some of these dudes
that's
don't.
4.
Some of these dudes don't have a wiki page, and that's kind of crazy.
And he didn't play in the league then.
No, I don't think he played.
Yeah,
think
so
he played.
that's like if we gonna split it up, 2 pure, 4 total. The other 2 represents the guys within
Nah,
the
man.
field.
Nah, man. No, it don't count. All right, so it don't
So
count.
he's
It don't
4.
count. So Mike Evaro, your linebackers coach. All right, moving on. Al Holcomb. So this one should be rather familiar to Panthers fans. He's former Panthers linebackers coach from 2013 to 2017. He left with Steve Wilkes to go to Arizona. He actually has a connection to Matt Rule as well, going back to the 2012 New York Giants. He was on that staff as a defensive assistant. So they have a connection there, which I didn't know. That was an interesting one. So Al Holcomb is going to be the defensive run game coordinator, which is something we need badly, very badly. He gonna need some help there because we gotta figure that run game out, defensive run game. All right. So Al Holcomb, he has NFL experience. What's that? 2?
He coached with us, so we good.
Coach with us, coach with the
We good.
Browns, coach with the Cardinals as well. So, all right. So moving on. Chase Blackburn, everybody's favorite, special teams coordinator. I don't think this one is official yet, but all signs point to it. So he got a couple interviews, so I think he'll come back. He too has a connection with Rule. He was on that 2012 Giants team. So shout out to Chase. Chase has the Rule connection. Y'all didn't know that, huh?
Nah, I didn't.
Yeah, he goes.
I read it.
He goes back
but
to.
I don't know which articles to trust in 2020.
Nah, he goes back to Rule as well. All these dudes go back to Rule. All right. So moving on. This one is speculative. I don't think this one is official yet, but there's a lot of speculation around Pat Flaherty. So there's a connection to Rule, where they were on the same coaching staff on the Giants, and he's coached the Giants, the 49ers, the Jaguars, Dolphins. He's been an offensive line coach in the NFL for about 16 years. Again, when I saw these NFL these coaches that have experience, what I tried to do was I tried to go back and see what they had. Like, did they coach anything good? And I'm just not seeing anything good on his resume. Okay, I'm not seeing any good dominant offensive line on his resume. I could be wrong, but I'm not seeing any dominant resumes. I try to link it back, and I just don't see it. But this one is not official. Also, you need to keep an eye, as far as offensive line coach goes. You need to keep an eye on Brendan Nugent. He is the Saints' assistant offensive line coach, and he has a connection to Joe Brady. So he's currently the assistant offensive line coach with the Saints, and I think his contract is up. And so I think we may try to come in and scoop him. So I think that's why that announcement isn't official just yet with Pat. So keep an eye on that one. So any thoughts on that one, Dave? Offensive line coach?
We need a good offensive line coach after how our line looked last year.
Facts. Terrible. He did get fired I think before training camp started. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know again. I go back further than just the recent job. I try to go back and see where did you coach anybody good, and I don't see it. I don't see it. All right, not with him anyway. All right, moving on. Kevin Gilbride, not the coach in the XFL. That's not him. That's his dad. That's his pops, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think his pops coaches in the XFL. All right. So Kevin Gilbride, he also has the link to Rule, where he was the wide receivers coach on that 2012 Super Bowl winning Giants team. And he was he moved from wide receivers to tight ends. He's a tight end coach from 2014 2017, and then he moved on to Chicago to take the same job. Now he did work with Evan Ingram, so I give him a little bit of credit there. He worked with Evan Ingram, so I'm gonna give him props for that.
You'll have another young tight end to work with.
So, again, he has the Rule connection. All right. So, any thoughts on the tight ends, Coach Dave?
Nah, I'm cool with him, man. The Evan Ingram connection helps him a little bit.
So, where are we at with NFL experience? 'Cause that's four,
it's
right?
About half and half, actually.
That's four. Yeah, that's four coaches. Let's keep it a buck. That's four coaches. We got a long way to go, Dave. We not even halfway yet. So we not there yet. So all right.
I was only focused on college, but it's about pretty even. It's like 4 to 5.
This one is just to be transparent. This one is also speculative. It's all signs point to that direction, but it's not concrete yet. Okay. So moving on. Here we go. More college guys. Frisman Jackson. He's a former player, though, Dave. He played. Just get half a point?
No.
Half a point?
Nah, man.
So this dude is going to be the wide receivers coach.
He got the Titans shirt on, though.
Oh, yeah, that's right. My fault. He does have NFL experience.
Oh, okay.
I'm tripping. I have it on my notes. My bad. I have it on my notes.
Yeah.
My bad.
He got the shirt on.
He can't.
Black coach.
My bad. The connection. Excuse me. The connection goes back to Temple. He was at Temple with Rule, and he actually coached Robbie Anderson. He was a wide receivers coach.
Oh, wow.
And he coached Robbie Anderson at Temple. And he reunited with Rule after his Titans stint. So after his Titans stint in 2017, he reunited with Rule at Baylor in 2018.
What did he do for the Titans?
I got you, Dave. I got you. It's all here. So with the Titans, he was the wide receivers coach under Mike Mularkey. There he coached Corey Davis. His wide receivers were trash. He coached Corey Davis, Eric Decker, Harry Douglas, Rashard Matthews, and Eric Weems. That was his crew. That was his crew, and I do think Robbie Anderson is going to be a Panther. I see other people saying it. I do think he's going to come this way. All right, college guy.
Too expensive.
Nah, I don't. We'll see. I have some saved that day, but he does have NFL experience. Okay, NFL experience. So that's what 5 to 5. Is that where we at? 5. All right. So moving on. That's Frisman Jackson. He played in.
I can't be too mad about it.
Yeah, he did play, but he was trash when he played. He was trash.
No, but I'm just saying, like from the college versus NFL, I can't be mad at 5-5.
He was trash when he played, by the way. I think he played with the Browns.
That means those are some of the best coaches, man. Bill Belichick freaking never got to play in the NFL because he got injured, and he's the GOAT.
All right, moving on. Everybody.
Garrett was a backup.
So the next up is Jake Peets. All signs point to Jake Peets remaining running backs coach. He was under Rivera, so that's another NFL experienced coach. We're gonna keep him as running backs coach, as far as I know. And I think it's all but confirmed that he's gonna stick around. I think the only holdover, if I'm not, other than Chase, the only holdover from Rivera's.
Yeah, I think they really wanted to keep him.
So yeah, I think
reason.
they blocked a couple interview requests. I think they blocked the Redskins from trying to take him. But yeah, Jake Peetz, he stands. So that's 5'6", NFL to college.
Yep. NFL's in the league with 6.
All right, moving on. Matt Lombardi. Add another one to the college rankings.
We're tied.
Add another one to the college.
It's competition.
Well, hold on. Does this count though? Does this count? In 2013, he served as a scout intern with the Browns. That that don't count.
Are we counting the Browns as an NFL team? In 2013.
Yo, that's funny.
Your decision there is gonna decide.
Yo, that's funny. That's funny. Yo, I wish I had my soundboard up, yo, because that's funny.
Yo, man, what was the Browns record in 2013?
I don't remember.
If they didn't get at least 3 wins, I'm not counting it.
That's funny. All right, so he was actually so just going over his little history. He's gonna serve as the assistant QB coach. His background is real weird. I don't know why they have him as QB coach, assistant QB coach, and I don't know if that's gonna be official.
I'll count it. The Browns went 4-12. I'll count it.
If they get more than 3 wins, you count it. All right.
I'll count it.
All right. So he served as a special teams quality coach at Louisville before he went on to Baylor. So he was actually at Louisville when Lamar Jackson was there. Maybe a little juju rubs off on him a little bit.
Maybe.
But he was a quality. Oh no, I'm gonna bet he does have experience. He came from the Dolphins. I'm tripping. NFL experience. Dolphins. He was a Dolphin. He has a Dolphins shirt on right there. I think you can't see the logo, but he was a Dolphins quality control coach.
So it's 7-5.
Yep.
NFL college.
And they worked together at Baylor, where he was also the quality control coach. I don't know where QB coach. I don't know where that comes from. That's completely out of left field for me. So I don't know. My bad. My fault. I didn't. I left his Miami joint out.
Our bad, Nolie.
So that's my fault. I got so many people. I had to put notes together, bro. Like everything was happening so fast.
A lot of cats.
Yeah, it's a lot of dudes, man. A lot of dudes. All right, so he was at Baylor. He was quality control at Baylor. I don't know where the QB coach role comes from. I have no clue. It doesn't make any sense. No, he wasn't a QB coach. Moving on. So we had Matt Lombardi as the assistant QB coach, and now they're talking about bringing in one of these guys as QB coach. So you got Scott Linehan, Ben McAdoo, Mike McCoy. All those guys have been interviewed. To come in. None of which have been hired at the moment. But you
know what, man?
Go ahead.
I gotta be more open to this college thing, and the reason why is because I just said, "Oh God," and all 3 of these guys had NFL experience,
head coaching experience.
Some guy, and 2 out of the 3 are head coaches.
All of them, all 3 of them. All 3 of them had head coaching. All 3 of them. So all 3 of these dudes have head coaching experience, and all of them have been interviewed. Everybody wants. I think when he talked about that mentor role, I think this is what he was talking about. One of these 3 guys, none of them have been named yet. But one of these 3 guys have been. I think
I probably would lean towards McCoy.
Yeah, me too.
McCoy was.
Me too.
McCoy
That's where
was
I'm leaning.
there during the Fox era, not during the Rivera era, if I remember correctly, right?
I don't remember, but
yeah,
I got a heavy lean to McCoy.
Yeah, I think he was there during the Fox years. So I don't think that would be a bad thing. In my opinion.
Yeah,
I don't think that would be a bad thing.
So one of these 3 dudes is gonna be named as QB coach, I'm assuming, and probably Matt Rule's mentor. So just throwing that out there. None of them have been named yet. So just throwing it out there that one of these 3 dudes. I don't even like the way Ben McAdoo looks. I'm sorry. I don't want him on my. I don't want him on the roster. Please. Spare me. All right. So moving on. All right. Here we go, Dave. Let's talk about it. I think this is where the discussion is gonna get a little drawn out, okay? Because we saved the best for last. All right. So it took a long time, Dave. It took a long time, but we finally have a defensive coordinator named. I thought maybe they were holding out to kind of go get Wade Phillips or something like that. I don't know what took so long for them to officially make this name this hire. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. But Phil Snow goes all the way back to UCLA with Rule. All the way back to UCLA. They were on the same staff together. Followed him to Temple, then followed him again to Baylor. And I do not like this hire one bit. I'm sorry. With Wade Phillips out there, I gotta go with Wade Phillips. Maybe Phil Snow could have been an assistant defensive coordinator or something like that, and maybe he could have rubbed some elbows and kind of learned a little bit. But I don't like this. I'm not a fan of this one. I gotta be honest with you. I'm not a fan. Okay, but let's go through a little bit of what Phil Snow is about. Okay.
Cornell's out there too, because
Romeo Cornell's out there.
Texas just let him go.
Yep, Romeo Cornell's out there as well. Yep, sure was. Good catch, Dave.
God of Blackness. I can't count it because Luke didn't get traded. Thanks for the donation, though.
Yeah, appreciate that, brother. My bad. I'm trying to get through these. I saw it. I was gonna say something. All right. So Phil Snow, he was also nominated as a top 5 finalist for the Brewers Award, which Joe Brady won. So they were in the same discussion. That award goes to the best assistant coach in college football. His most recent stops in college produced top 20 defenses in 4 of the 7 years which he coached them teams. Again, Baylor's 2019 defense is just one of 2 Big 12 defenses in the past 5 years to hold their opponents under 20 points per game. That's low key. They don't play defense in Baylor, but there's a lot of offense in the Big 12. I gotta give him some credit for that. However, Dave, yeah, he's got a lot. He's got NFL experience too. You want to know where it was at, Dave?
Oh God, no.
With the Detroit Lions, Dave.
Oh yeah, that is right. He was with Detroit.
Defensive assistant, Dave, when they went 0-16. So I don't know if that's. Are we gonna count that one? Are we gonna count that one, Dave? Are we gonna count that? Are we gonna count that year?
Yeah.
Are we? So we're gonna count that as experience? Okay. I'm just trying to clarify the rules. I just want to clarify the rules.
The difference is, that was like the Cleveland exception.
Okay.
Detroit has seen some level of success. They've been to the playoffs over the past 20 years.
All right. So Phil Snow. Listen. Rule said it. He said it during his opening press conference. He said, "I've never won a game without Phil Snow by my side, defensive coordinator, or on my staff." And so it was pretty apparent at that point that Phil Snow was going to be defensive coordinator. Listen, I kind of like some of the things that he said. They dropped a few quotes, and he's pretty much said that we got to get the right players in, it's not the scheme. This is not a direct quote, but he said something to the effect of, it's not the scheme that produces good defenses. It's the players, and we need to get the right players in. Something to that effect. So he's saying the right things. They call him the Yoda of coaches. I don't know, man. Listen, I don't know. I'm just not a fan. What
did Detroit call him?
I don't know.
I just want to know. They did go on with 16.
I don't know. But anyway, Phil Snow's the guy, and we'll see what happens. You got any thoughts on Phil Snow, Dave?
I'm gonna reserve my judgment.
You in wait and see mode?
I gotta be. I ain't got a choice. Cause look, man, Wade was out there, and as of yesterday, Romeo was out there too. Like, there's too many things out there. Because you had an opportunity. Now, granted, they're gonna probably use that.
Okay.
They're probably gonna either hire McCoy or McAdoo or.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Dave.
Mentoring,
what if they bring in one of them as a consultant, Cornell or Wade Phillips?
I'm fine with it. And I think Wade would probably be a better fit, since it looks like he likes to blitz. Phil Snow likes to blitz.
Phil Snow also likes to call a 3-3-5 lineup on when the opponent's on a goal line on their own excuse me, backed up on their own 1 yard line. How do you run a 3-man front when the opponent's backed up all the way on their own 1 yard line, Dave? And then Georgia proceeds to run an 8-yard play to get themselves out of trouble. That I was just baffled by it. At that point,
I didn't watch the Sugar Bowl.
I watched it. That happened in the Sugar Bowl, Dave.
I believe it.
That exact instance happened in the Sugar Bowl. I wish I could pull it up and show you. It was despicable. But anyway, Phil Snow's our guy, and it is what it is. It is what it is at this point. All we can do is talk about it. But that's what it is. All right. So now do we want to talk about the man of the hour, Dave?
Oh yeah, Mr. Brady.
Joe Brady, who has zero connections to anybody, as far as on the staff goes. As far as Matt Rule or Tepper, there's no Panthers. There's no connection, except for that offensive line coach that we could potentially bring in, and they would connect to each other. But that's about it. But Joe Brady, Dave, what are your thoughts on the Joe Brady hire?
He has NFL experience.
Okay.
He was the assistant for the Saints, right? Offensive assistant.
Okay, I got a qualifying question, Dave. I got a qualifying question. Do you have to have NFL experience at the position in which you've been hired?
No, nah. Because I think some things about having NFL experience is actually like knowing like the process of how different it is from that versus college. Because there is a difference. Like, I know people don't think there's a difference, but there is a difference. There's a difference in how you have to handle players and things of that nature. So I think there's a difference. Because that wouldn't be fair. Like, Raheem Morris has coached very well on both the offensive and the defensive side of the ball. He was wide receiver coach when the wide receivers was killing in Atlanta. So, like, I think how to handle it's different. It's different when you're trying to handle college kids versus handling adults who are making millions of dollars. There's a different dynamic when it comes to that.
I hear you. I just want to ask that question. Question. All right. So I put together a couple notes. This is just me jotting down a couple negative, kind of what we did with the head coaches, the negatives and positives. So I'm gonna start with the negatives first with Joe Brady. So he has no official offensive coordination experience. Period. Like he did not call the plays at LSU. He did not call the plays with the Saints. So there's nothing to go from. There's nothing to go from. There's no experience there.
That's interesting because there was a guy who was looking for a head coaching job and they were being critical of him for not calling the plays there.
That's great.
As an offensive coordinator.
Which did you see? Did you see the video going around on Twitter? Where he was actually calling the plays. Yeah, he was calling the plays, and Andy Reid standing there like this. Very interesting. That's what I needed to see. Like I needed to see that. Like none of us know. Listen, at the end of the day, none of us really know. We're not in the building. We don't know exactly. So this is all my negatives are all really speculate. I don't know. He may call the play. He may feed the plays in. I don't know that. But
going back to that comment. So like, folks who are being critical of that, you do know that the last two offensive coordinators for Andy Reid both got head coaching jobs, and they didn't call the plays either.
Facts. Yeah.
So, I digress. Maybe Matt Rule's going to call the plays.
So let me explain the rest of these negatives real quick. So lack of tenure. He doesn't have there's no resume to go. Okay, you had a great year with LSU, but there's nothing to go on. Everywhere he goes, he's jumping. And that worries me a lot because it goes down to my last point that if he's successful, this is a lose-lose. This Joe Brady hire is a lose-lose situation for the Panthers. Let me explain, Dave. If he is successful and this thing is out of the woodworks, great, he's gone. He's gonna get a head coaching job somewhere. Oh, yeah. Okay, he's gonna be out of here immediately. This is why we needed to hire an offensive coach because he's gonna be out of here as soon as it goes well. I'm talking about year 2. If our offense is like top LSU good, then he's gone. Okay? And if it's bad, it's just bad. There's no win for us here. There's no win. It's a lose-lose situation for the Panthers. So
I agree.
So I'm just saying, if we don't win a Super Bowl with him on the roster and it's great, this is all for naught, B. And listen, and let me say this. I'll say that with this caveat. Tepper may have given this man the bag, okay? He might have got like a real huge bag, and he may not leave. I don't know that. But if it's...
Well, we do know this. When they tried to ask him about how long his contract was, he wasn't piping. He wasn't talking.
Yeah, exactly.
That
asked him.
That tells me it's
Exactly.
short term.
What you mean short term?
As in, like, it ain't going to be too many. He didn't get a 7-year deal. He didn't get a 5-year deal. He'd be lucky if he got a 3-year deal. I think it's short. I think it's short to the point where he can make a move sooner than later.
It's a lose-lose situation, man. It's a lose-lose situation. But and then let me talk about that third bullet, because that's important too. The talent that this man had at LSU, he ain't got that here. He does not have that here. So I'm curious to see.
If Cam comes back, he's
nope.
Other than
Nope.
the line.
Nope, Dave. Nope. I'm not even gonna let you finish. I can't even let you finish. That offensive line that LSU had won the best offensive line of the year award in college. The receivers that he has, them dudes is probably better than a couple receivers. Tight end, the tight end. Then that group of receivers is probably better than some NFL corps out there. Joe Burrow. People forget, Dave. And this is where I'll give him a little bit of credit. I think let me jump into the positives real quick. I'll give him a little bit of credit for working with Joe Burrow, because people forget that Joe Burrow was a starting quarterback at LSU last year. The year prior, nobody was saying Joe Burrow's name. Not one person was out here saying that Joe Burrow was going to be the top overall pick. Okay,
Dude got 60 touchdowns, and now he's the first pick.
So I give him credit for the development of Joe Burrow and whatever he did to the passing game to make it go. I give him the credit for that. But the talent that he had, I don't know. So I give him props for the Joe Burrow, and that's what scares me about. That's what would make me nervous about Joe Burrow taking him number 1 overall, because you had a junior season that nobody talks about. And your senior season was great because you had Joe Brady. Can you replicate that success without Joe Brady? So it's going to be interesting.
Or the Panthers trade up and go get him.
We'll talk about it. Hold that thought, Dave. Hold that thought. All right. So I will give him credit. For the improvement of LSU's offense. I'll give him credit for that, because the LSU's offense was complete garbage for year. Like, LSU has always been defensive team. They've been trash on the offensive side of the ball. He came in, and I don't know if it's coincidence. Again, I'm not in the rooms. I don't know who calls the plays. I don't know what he contributed, but that took off like that. And we're talking historic offense, historic levels of offense. Okay, historic levels of offense. All right. So I'm gonna give him credit for that. I'm gonna give him credit for working with Sean Payton. Maybe some of that Sean Payton magic rubs off on him. And he's young. He's got some innovative ideas. He sees the game a little bit different. We'll see what happens. But I stick by my statement. This is a lose-lose unless the Panthers somehow can miraculously keep him on the roster if the offense is successful. People are plucking offensive coordinators like that. Kevin Stefanski, look at him. I'm just telling you, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. He's young, too. Everybody's going the McVay route, the Cliff Kingsbury route. All it's happening. He will be the next guy if our offense is great. I'm just telling y'all that right now. If our offense is great, he will be the next guy.
I'm gonna say it. If our offense is great, he'll have a head coaching job next year.
My bad. You right, Slim. Eric Bieniemy. My bad. With the caveat, Eric Bieniemy, and we know why. I'll give my fault. You're right. No, I got you. You're right, though.
We all know.
You're right.
But you know who's smiling at the end of this all, especially if the Chiefs pull it off and win a Super Bowl? You know who's smiling at the end of this? Andy Reid, because he
Yeah.
gets to keep him.
He gets to keep him. Yeah. But at the same time, I give Andy Reid his credit because he has been propping him up though. Andy Reid doing his part, man.
Yo, Andy Reid pretty much told folks it's a travesty that he doesn't have a job. You know, but you know, they come home with the chip. It might be different next year, but he's gonna have to keep it up. Like if the offense falls off next season, he ain't getting a job. This guy, if he has good offense, will.
I'm just telling you, bro. Like I'm concerned about that. Unless we can find a way to keep him, and then it's gonna be rough sledding. And this is why I wanted an offensive coach. This is why you hire an offensive guy because he can't pluck it. You can't pluck an offensive guy. He's the head coach. You know what I'm saying? If it's successful, he stays around. Now I'm just telling you, it's a lose-lose, bro. It's a lose-lose. But I do like. Let me say this. I do like the hire though. I don't mind hiring a college offensive. He's not an offensive coordinator, so I do like the offensive coordinator coming from college because that's what's running. People are running NFL colleges. They're running college offenses in NFL. I get that. I'm not mad. I wouldn't be mad at a college offensive coordinator hire. I'm not mad at this hire. I think he's worked under Sean Payton. I think he's gonna have the chops. I'm just concerned that if he's successful, he's gonna get plucked.
But I will say this: look who's in the Super Bowl now.
Shanahan.
Right? You know what I'm saying? You got like a straight old school offense with San Fran. They just run the ball down.
Bro, they are not gonna win a Super Bowl with attempting 8 passes. That's not happening, bro. It's not happening, man. and you see the way the Chiefs shut down Derrick Henry too?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Watch what happens.
Garoppolo
gonna have to throw. This is gonna be real interesting. I like this matchup a lot. Garoppolo's gonna have to win it on his own. He's gonna have to throw it at some point. He's gonna have to throw it. He's gonna have to throw it because they shut Frank Clark and them. They shut Derrick Henry ass down, bro. So we'll see what happens with that. It's interesting.
Yeah, they made it. I'll tell you what, man. Like Shanahan, I think what happened with San Fran was that he couldn't trust freaking Garoppolo to stay healthy, so he set the offense so he didn't need him.
All right, Dave. Real quick, let me read some conversations about Joe Brady from NFL guys. Okay, I'm just gonna read. Joe Brady.
Oh, Joe Brady. Okay.
Joe Brady on some NFL guys. Okay, so this is some NFL execs on Joe Brady. They were creating problems for defenses based on what the defenses gave them. If it's man defense, you see option routes, friction plays, man beaters, to create separation. And they had the athletes who can do it by themselves. And then against zone, like you saw in the Clemson game, you see receivers finding the dead spots, sitting down, and Burrow finding them. So that's the good stuff. All right. So on the flip side, Brady has never been a team's primary play caller, and there will be a learning curve there, which is what I said. All right. So this is what another scouting director said. This is an AFC scouting director. I have a major concern with that in talking about the experience, but I also like it. A less traditional way of thinking is good, so I have no problem with hiring him. But I'd say, being in that spot, you have to make sure you provide him with the players that fit. You don't want a guy that inexperienced to have to tweak his system already. Give him the players that fit the system, and then as he develops the players and learn, he becomes more flexible. One more. This is another NFL exec. I don't want to bring him in. Whatever he is doing at LSU, he clearly has a huge part of their success. It would help to have a veteran coach with them, like Kevin Stefanski and Gary Kubiak in Minnesota. That would benefit him. He's barely called plays in college, let alone in the NFL. So I think they'd be smart to bring in a Scott Linehan in, someone that has experience as a play caller. So that's what the NFL people are saying about it. Kind of mixed, just like us. All right.
Yeah, man.
All right. So that's all the coordinators so far, man. All the coordinators so far. I'm sure there'll be some more. But that's pretty much a lot of. I don't know what the counter was. But I think we have more NFL experience than
We do.
straight college.
It was like about one, like 7-6.
But
Only if we count him. We got to count him.
yeah,
We count him.
that's you. You the rule maker.
So it's like 8-5.
All right, but all right.
Count Phil Slow. If I count Phil Snow, I got to count him, right?
Yeah, you do. But all right, so that brings up, and I think you said this earlier, Dave. Joe Burrow, okay? A lot of speculation out there that, hell, we got Joe Brady, so let's go get Burrow. Dave, go ahead. I think you were going to say it earlier. What would your thoughts be on a trade to get Joe Burrow?
No.
There was a lot of crazy little scenarios going around,
No.
like us mortgaging our entire future to go get Joe Burrow.
No.
Come on, Dave. You don't want the reunion to happen?
No. I'd rather them take two at 7 if they're gonna take a quarterback. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like if you already gotten to the point where you're ready to take a quarterback, you take Tua if he's there at 7.
Tua not gonna be there, B.
You don't think so?
No, Rivers is out. He's gonna be out at chart. He already packed his bags, left San Diego. I'm serious.
But wait, man, we might have Thomas. They might get Thomas. There's some quarterbacks in the market this year, man.
No, they got Tyrod. And they're gonna bring Tua in. Watch.
Poor Tyrod, man. Tyrod's out here, can't even get a starting job. While they're they're legit debating if James is coming back next year after he throws 30 interceptions.
So I'm telling you, I'm completely against this as well. I think the Bengals have already nixed it. They said they're gonna pretty much take Burrow number one overall.
They said they weren't gonna trade.
They weren't gonna trade it. So again, it would be stupid for us to more in the position in the rebuild that we're in. It would be completely stupid for us to mortgage all those picks away because we need as many picks as we can get. Which brings me to my next point, Dave. Cam Newton.
Cameron.
Dave, what are we gonna do here, man? What are we gonna do here with Cam?
Before the Luke retirement, I thought he was safe.
I did too, bro. I'm flip flopping McGee over here, B.
No, it's all about what happens after. I'm reacting based on what's occurred. Pre-Luke retirement, I thought he was coming back. Regardless of all the coaching hires, regardless of all this, because they were speculating Snow and Brady before. Despite all that, I thought he would come back to play his last year. But then the combination of what's going on with his personal life,
which we're not going to discuss, by the way. Which we're not going to discuss. Well, this is not Panther Nation gossip, okay? We're not going to talk about that man's personal life. But again, you got the personal issues. That's all we're going to say about it. Listen, we're not going to come up here. That man is human, and we're not going to do that. But again, I agree with you, Dave.
That's his life. He can do what he wanted with his life.
100%. Go ahead, Dave. My bad.
So with that, it's not looking good, man. It's not looking good.
Yeah. So go ahead. My fault.
I don't. I think all this time I couldn't see too many scenarios where he wouldn't play his final year. I think we're at the point where he's probably gonna ask for a trade and get a long-term deal.
Yeah, and they're saying I think Ian Rappaport put out a tweet or something. Not that I trust him, but he did put out the tweet that said, "Hey, all signs point to Cam being traded in March after he proves that he's healthy." And listen, at this point, man, I'm not against it because we have signaled a full-on rebuild. Locks, I'm gonna give you credit on this. You right on this one. Listen, clock's right twice in a day. So listen, you got
yeah,
this
but
one.
The thing is,
I'm gonna give you that one, Dave.
He's right.
Locks.
Losman's right, but he's right despite of his incorrectness. I'm being real. Like he's right because of the whole tidal wave, the rule hire, the staff changes, Luke retiring. Like, that's why he's right. He ain't right because McCarthy showed up. He ain't right because McDaniel showed up. He's right because of everything else that happened around it. And this is where we're at. Because now we're like in full-fledged rebuild. Because a McCarthy or a McDaniels hire does not create a rebuild. Because they have to win now. Rule getting a 7-year deal, it's a wrap. Now it's rebuild time.
Yeah. So with Luke retiring, to me, Luke was the red flag saying, hey, this is a full-blown rebuild, okay? We are in rebuild mode. And in rebuild mode, you need draft picks. And you have to knock those draft picks completely out the water. You cannot afford to have these mediocre drafts, which, I'm going to be honest, Hurney's had some mediocre drafts. These past two drafts ain't really panning out that well for Hurney, okay? I'm just going to keep it a buck.
DJ
Okay,
Moore's been pretty good.
Again, we always give that's a given. His first round pick is a given. When in rebuild mode, Dave, you cannot afford to miss. That's my point. We're in rebuild mode. When you get those picks, you trade Cam away. You need that asset that you traded for to pan out, or it's all for naught. You see what I'm saying? So we need picks. So I'm not against trading Cam. Okay, I'm not against trading Cam to get the picks. I'm not against it. It could be some drastic moves. Listen, if Cam is moved and the right moves are made, I've gotten us, according to my calculations, I've gotten us up to about $70 million in cap space. We don't need to go out here this year and sign no crazy free agents. We don't need to do all that. We good. Just take this joint. Take this joint.
We're not
tank mode.
We're trading.
Go ahead.
We're trading Cam. We're not trading McCaffrey.
Listen, nothing's out the realm possibility.
Nah, we're not trading McCaffrey.
I don't think it's gonna happen either. And listen, with the whole McCaffrey situation, we'll have to talk about this another day. But listen, McCaffrey, I get it. You don't pay him as a running back, but he's so versatile. You include that wide receiver. What if he moves the slot? What if under Joe Brady he plays a lot more slot receiver? Would you pay him top wide receiver money to stay on the roster? That wasn't a rhetorical question, Dave. McCaffrey. What if McCaffrey was moved to slot?
No. But he won't. But you know what? I don't think for McCaffrey's sake, he might not even allow that.
I'm asking. I'm just hypotheticals. All hypotheticals, man.
No. They're not going to pay him. They're not going to pay him top running back money to be a slot receiver.
No. You don't think he's going to ask for that? This
might be a
Le'Veon Bell situation.
They just hired the fourth member of Griselda to manage their salary cap.
Which is exactly why he just went through this with Le'Veon Bell, Dave.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? He just went through this same situation. So y'all need I said this weeks ago, okay? Y'all need to prepare yourselves for anything to happen. Anything can happen right now, B. We didn't know Luke was going to retire. We didn't know Rule was going to be hired and bringing all these coaches. We didn't know Joe Brady was on the way. Like, prepare yourselves for anything right now.
I was going to say, man, after the Luke retires, maybe Cam might retire.
He might.
And then
he might.
Then the personal news broke, and I was like, nah, he ain't retiring now.
Yeah. He might retire, man. You never know.
Nah, he ain't going to retire.
But listen, man, it's a lot going on right now. And listen, according to my calculations, according to Spot Track and Over the Cap, I've gotten us up to about, with Cam Newton being traded or cut, whatever, I've gotten us up to about $71 million in cap space. If you can roll over cap space, that unused cap space, to the next year. I wouldn't spend money on nothing. I will hold all my assets until 2021. That way, when we trash, you draft a Fields, a Trevor Lawrence, and then that's when shit starts moving. Okay, you have got to get you need cap space, and you need draft capital for a rebuild. That's what's necessary. If you don't have those two things, the rebuild is gonna be trash. Okay, it's gonna be trash. So we need those two things, and you gotta prepare yourselves, B. Prepare yourselves. Anything can happen. Anything can happen, man. Listen, so that's Shad's plan. I'm a draw out Shad's plan. Y'all heard of God's plan, right? Shad's plan for the Panthers. I'm gonna draw it out. Maybe one of these couple of weeks. I'm gonna show y'all what I would do. Exact moves laid out, step by step, of what I would do. But
And shout out, I don't know if you're gonna talk about this now, but shout out to Cam, man. He won the Walter Payton Man of the Year challenge.
He did. The internet part. He still got to get the official award.
Yeah, he ain't won the official one, but he got the $25,000 for his foundation. So shout out to Cam, because he's doing good work for the community down there. So, it's dope. It would be very awkward if he wins that joint. If he does win it, and then we end up trading him away about a month later. That would be super awkward. But NFL's a business first.
Yo, I'm telling y'all, man, for real. Shout out to Cam. But I'm telling y'all, I'm not signing nobody. Yo, I'm getting by with the bare minimum. We just gonna be trash next year. And you know what else concerns me, Dave? While I'm on my high horse about these college hires. All right. So typically with college hires, you've got to be in a system for about 4 years for you to get your guys in. And we start to see what you're gonna do. What worries me about Rule and all these other college coaches is that you haven't been anywhere long enough to establish your own identity. Follow me, Dave.
Oh no, I'm there. Listen, man. I'm gonna tell you something. I didn't doubt Rule as a coach. All right. My issue with Rule ultimately was the fact that he was a college coach, and that historically college coaches don't stick around that long.
Facts.
So you're out here, you're putting all your eggs on this college coach, and he could do well. But it's irrelevant if he's gonna bounce in 3 years, regardless of how long the deal is.
So exactly.
If it gets really ugly in 3 years, we're gonna be back to square one, praying that Eric B's still available. And he probably could be.
He might be still available. The way it's looking, that's not funny.
Unsat.
That's not funny. That's not funny though. Yeah, that's not funny.
No, but it's unsat. Like, it's just Pete Carroll. But Pete Carroll had NFL experience. Like, people forget the dude was a head coach. He coached the Jets and the Patriots.
He was with Seattle back in the day too.
Seattle.
He was Seattle back in the day.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, Jim Johnson definitely he stayed. He's a good one. He's like the elite of the elite. If you're gonna pick a college coach that stayed, he's one of them. He's the one of them. But anyway, there ain't many. Okay, there ain't many. But anyway, listen, back to my original point. Okay, this Matt Rule, all the other college coaches, whether it's Joe Brady, Phil Snow, Matt Rule, whatever, they've been at their institutions for no more than 3 years. You haven't had time to put in your own system. You've been working with other people's guys and kind of turning around what they've been working. Okay, that's all well. You're showing me that you can work with other people's players and develop them. My question is, nobody has seen your long-term plan. What are you gonna do when you have control? What is your actual system? What do you want to do? What does your players look like? We haven't seen that long enough anywhere. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't been anywhere long enough. We don't know what his system is. He's always worked with other people's players. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So we don't know what he wants. What does his system look like? What is your actual? What do you want to implement? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's my concern about it. And again, listen, there's an extreme to this. It could be really bad, like Dave said. We could be really bad in the next 3 years, and then we fire everybody and start over. Or this dude Tepper and his plan, he could actually be a complete genius if everything works out and we get a Super Bowl. And then we all gonna come back here and look at this episode like, damn. I would love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong in that scenario. But
all my I'll tell you what, man. When they announced the hire Rule, all my coworkers were right. Look at you, you got a brand new coach, and I was not happy about it because I didn't want us to take a college guy. You know, I wasn't interested in that. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. You know, I get bothered by the fact that there's a lot of coaches that don't get that proper opportunity. And I know it's a bad day to be talking about MLK Day, but they don't get the opportunity that they deserve. And there's some coaches who like I'm looking at Detroit. Because they fired a coach that got 9 wins, and the current coach only got 9 wins combined in 2 seasons. So, you know.
Yeah.
Just things that I noticed.
All right. That being said, man, we covered a lot. It's 10 o'clock. I'm not gonna open the phone line. You know what I'm gonna do next week though? After all these, if there's no more, I'm pretty sure there'll be some more coaches hired. We'll go over those coaches, and then I'm gonna open up the phone lines. We can open up the phone lines for the whole show, since we kind of took the whole show this time. And there probably won't be much to talk about unless something happens. But I'll try to keep the news limited next week, and then we'll open up the phone line so you guys can sound off. Because
the Panthers might not allow us, man.
What you mean?
They keep staying in the news, man.
Right. I mean, I know I expect Ben McAdoo or Mike McCoy or Scott Linehan, one of those dudes to get hired. So I'm pretty. There's been a lot of movement in the past couple of days. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. I'm sure there'll be some more news, and we'll cover that and I'll open up the phone lines. But yeah. All right. So Dave, you got anything else?
That's it, man. I'm looking at this crazy stat about Super Bowl 54. No LeGarrette Blount, no C.J. Anderson.
Yeah, I just saw that.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
And again, if you look at the AFC, there's only been 3 quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. So.
All right. So that being said, we're going to get out of here, man. Again, we covered a lot. Welcome your new coaches to Carolina. And it's going to be a wild ride for the next couple years. Just strap in. And I tell you, next year especially, bro, it's gonna be ugly, man. Next year is gonna be bad, man. Next season is gonna be bad. No, it doesn't depend, Dave. It's gonna be bad.
It all depends on what the expectations are.
My expectation.
Tepper's talking a good game right now.
My expectation is
I
gonna
don't
be
know how
like.
much of a game he's gonna talk once the media starts coming at him.
My expectation is like 4 or 5 wins max. And then on top of that, Dave, you got coaches learning how to coach in the NFL. All these inexperienced coaches. The rules have changed a lot since a lot of these dudes have been in the league. They got a learning curve. It's gonna be ugly, man. It's gonna be ugly, bro. Just strap in, man, and just hang tight. 2021, we're gonna be straight because we're gonna have mad cap space. We're gonna be able to move. We're gonna have a good quarterback, and we're gonna be all right, man.
We're gonna be all right.
We're gonna be all right. All right. That being said, Dave, you got anything? Anything else? Let's get out of here, man.
Good.
Had a crazy workout. I'm tired.
You got a crazy workout, you said?
Yeah, man. I be getting after it, bro.
I didn't get after it today, man. I had to enjoy MLK Day. And by the way, man, happy MLK Day to all you guys. And make sure you guys find some quotes that you've never seen before from Martin Luther King. You'll be intrigued. That's all I got.
All right. That being said, we out of here, man. Peace out. See y'all in the next one. Keep pounding. And all that good stuff.
Oh, by the way, one more thing.
Go ahead.
Shout out to my Celtics. They just beat the Lakers by 32 points. 32 points. 32.
What Tatum do?
I don't know what Tatum did, but I know what Jaylen Brown did. You know what Jaylen Brown did?
Well,
He dunked on LeBron. And it looked bad. He got pulverized. So, yeah, man. But, yeah.
Let me see.
Appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already.
Tatum.
I'll see you guys.
Tatum with the 27. All right. Yeah. Peace out, man. We'll see y'all next week. All right. Peace out.